your final project. So I just want to make sure that everyone has a good sense of this. Then I'll go through this real quick, the overview of it, and then we can get into a discussion about what needs to be done and what your thinking is related to that. So remember, if you want to see the PowerPoint that I have up here, you want to see a large screen, I believe you can click on the make the screen larger so you're able to see the whole thing. Also, I'll be monitoring to see if you have any questions as I go along. The learning needs, in terms of using technology within my organization, need to be, and how am I going to enhance that? Now, I'll have some examples for you next week so you get a sense of what this is. But I want you to start thinking about this process because it's something that you will be doing. So really what this assignment then is to get you to begin to think about the leadership principles that are going to be needed to create professional learning spaces within your organization. And that I really want you to use the concepts that you are exposed to in your readings and the videos in this course. And the way in which I want you to present this is, again, I'm giving you a choice. You can do it as a paper, and really I don't want more than 3 pages, or you can do a media presentation that's no longer than 5 minutes. So if you want to do VoiceThread, or you want to do Prezi, or eMaze, or any of those other types of medias that will allow you to present your thinking about how you look at the needs within your organization and what leadership you will be doing in order to create a professional learning space within your organization. So again, what I want you to start thinking about and playing around with is, okay, there's a lot of stuff we're reading. I'm watching a lot of videos, and you're going to see a lot more in the coming weeks. But more importantly is as you reflect upon your use of technology. So think about your 24-hour profile, how you were doing that, how that technology, because most of you really related it to your work environment, which was good. And so, okay, how do I use this? How do I design it to enhance the development and better communication within my organization? So that's basically what that project is, which hopefully you'll start working on in week 5, and then I believe it's due at the end of week 6. And I will have some examples posted for you to be able to look at that, and I will send you some if I have a couple of videos of people presentations so you have an idea of what that is. So that's that upcoming assignment that you have. Now, here's the one that your team will be working on. And I know a couple of you have emailed me, said, did you guys meet, your teams meet at a particular time? And if I'd like to come in, I will. I will send out to you, as you ask me that, I'll give you some times when I can come in and meet with you if you want me to come into your team as you start getting into this final project. So what the final project is about, and I want you to go back and think about 845 or 625, depending on the nomenclature. That's the material that is in Theory U. And I want you to think about going up the U towards prototyping and how you would create a future learning environment, no matter where it is. It can be in a a K-12 environment, it could be a university environment, it could be in a community environment, it could be in a business environment, because a couple of you work in businesses. So, or it can be how let's say an NGO might interact with maybe a school district or a community. So that's what you're going to start thinking about in terms of a design process. So what this means then is, as I said, and this is out of your syllabus. So over the last several weeks, and I'm really beginning to talk about weeks from week 7 on, you've really been looking at issues that are related to technology. So you've been talking among yourselves about Shirley Turkles. You've been looking at how technology really impacts your own daily lives. You're going to be looking at a lot of interesting ideas about different types of learning environments that come out of MIT. You're going to see some videos around that. You're going to see Steve Wozniak, what he believes, one of the co-founders of Apple with Steve Jobs, about his thinking about, the future. So what your team's going to start doing now is to begin to think about this and then really start thinking about how you shift your thinking to allow people to really begin to explore new learning environments, what it might look like, where it might be, what type of technologies that you might utilize. So if you think about what is in the second machine age and what they're talking about, particularly about the development of skills and jobs and the idea of bounty that they talk about, then the question now becomes, how then can you take this stuff together collectively as a group of people and create a possible learning environment that will help people to learn utilizing these technologies that you're looking at. So what I want to do now is, given that framework, what type of questions now do you have related to that? And two ways you can do this. Obviously, you can do the question mark. I can see that and see what your question is and then share it with the group, or I can bring you up on the stage and you can dialogue with me about that. So let me give you a couple minutes. So any questions or hand raising based upon what I've just given you? All right, I see a hand up. Okay, Melissa, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Hi, I came a couple minutes late. I caught the very end of what you were just talking about. Was that the professional learning need?
No.
Is that what you were talking about?
No, I was talking about your final project as a team.
Okay, the team project.
Right, and
okay.
I did talk about the the next assignment on the learning need also.
Okay, that's fine. I can watch when you post it. I can watch the beginning, the first 10 minutes.
Or talk to some of your team members, and they can fill you in.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then the other question I'm going to pose, since obviously I did such a great job in explaining this, that you guys totally. All right, let me bring you up. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, how are
you? Good, how are you doing?
I'm trying to, good, thank you. I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around this, so I just want to make sure I understand. So, for example, we at my university, we're implementing a new information system. So if we use in the future, it would be, and right now we're talking about training and how we're going to get everybody at the university up to speed with this new I know, sorry, how we're going to get everybody up to speed with the new information system. So would that would be an example of, in the future, what learning technologies we would use to bring everybody on board for these new technologies?
What I would think is just what you told me would be good for your next assignment.
Okay.
So what's going to happen to your team? I want you guys to go outside the box. Okay. I want you to say, if we could take this technology, and you're going to see more videos that are going to really expand, what would we do? So let's say in your team you have a cross section of people who are K-12, maybe in business and in university. What's learning truly going to look like in the future? And how can we create a space that is technologically driven? So I want you to go beyond your current reality.
Okay, yeah, and we have our group, we do have a wide range of K through 12 business, higher ed, all that, so hopefully we can figure something out.
Yeah, but again,
thank you.
But again, your statement about what you're doing right now, because I think you talked about that in your profile, what I want you to do is, that's a good one for the next assignment on the leadership issue. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So, right. So, like, for example, because we're a 2 to 21 school, we don't typically work off of grade bands. We work off of skill levels.
Yep.
So it's not as though a student, so that kind of breaks the mold. So see, kind of
Yep.
along those lines. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's what I want you guys to do is really stretch your thinking as it goes to that. But what you're looking at is how the technology can change the structure of a learning space, not how we can implement the technology into the present system. That's what I want you guys to break away from.
And so with that, then, are we to like, what about like all of those potential like political, school board,
Who cares?
governmental things, are we to kind of assume, or just no holds bar? Okay, cool.
No holds barred
That's-
because from the leadership side, so this is why I want you guys to think about some leadership issues. Okay, so if we're really committed that this idea makes sense, so I'll give you an example. A couple years ago in the design group, the group came up with creating these mobile school labs that would drive around in Africa to educate people no matter where, and they were solar, etc. Well, I don't remember if I sent it to you guys or not, but a couple of weeks ago, there was this whole thing on this company that's doing that. So what they're doing is that they're integrating solar technology, to utilize the technology to make it work, and they're using these mobile tractor trailers and have converted them into operating classrooms. So that's the type of thinking I want you guys to start looking at. Then when you get an 801, you're really going to go out there. But what's important is don't allow current reality to block your thinking, because then all you're doing is, in Otto Scharmer's terms, is you're downloading the old assumptions. Yeah, there's current reality, but from a leadership point of view, how can we begin to make the mental shifts that are necessary for people to buy into this? Okay? All right, cool.
Perfect, thanks.
So let me ask you this question. How do you perceive the endpoint of a Google Classroom?
It's easy accessibility for both myself as well as the students. So that way I can forward information to the kids in the classroom faster than what I would normally do is wait several days or at the end of the week to give that to them.
So
Plus,
you
it
teach
gets the kids prepared for the class. I
So-
teach 9 through 12,
9 through 12 what?
animal science.
Okay, so let me ask a question. So if you're using Google Classroom and you're teaching that, so the question I would ask you then is, how would Google Classroom help you to integrate into the math teacher's environment? See what I'm getting at?
Yes, yes. So,
So-
unless they can create, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. So if you get into project-based or product-based learning, you can't. Okay,
All right, hope this is mic work. People hear me?
I hear you loud and
Hear me?
clear. Yes,
Good. All right. So now I'm all over the place.
good.
So I have teach senior undergrads, entrepreneurship majors, traditional consulting type of learning course structure in the past, and I brought in a project management platform. So project management before was a tool in the class in order to deliver the consulting engagement.
Right.
And I brought in a project management tool. We're testing it, and what's happened is now the curriculum has evolved around the project management tool, where it's led to greater collaboration between students, their client organizations. We work with our School of Art and Design, so they collaborate with us on, let's say, a crowdfunding campaign, website design,
Yeah.
under the graphic design piece of it. And students are no longer just communicating during their 75-minute blocks. They're communicating really 24/7.
Yep.
The project continues to move on, and let's say the results were They have to negotiate what the metric of success is. And in the past, there was a 6% success rate, and now we're somewhere around 85%. So that type of thing where the course is developed now around what I would consider a pretty traditional platform. I mean, project management is project management, but the capability, the use of it in the classroom, what students do with it after class, they're doing things very differently, deeper, and they're outside the traditional silos.
Yeah, so let me ask this question then. So as you begin to think about that, and so in your team, so who's all in your team? I mean, content-wise or work-wise. So you're hiring.
Yeah, so I teach my majors, and then we have another professor who teaches the graphic design majors.
No, I'm talking about in your team here. Do you have K-12 people?
I got higher ed. I got K through 12. I got them all. Yeah, we have a good mix.
So what you're going to do is you're going to bring that type of platform to the group. So as I'm thinking about that and you're talking about that, I'm starting to think about how could virtual reality integrate into a K-12 environment with your entrepreneurial-based students and link it to the business world? I'm just raising it as a question. So what could that technology do to a new type of learning space that, yeah, you obviously you want your guys to learn certain skill sets, but as part of that skill set of entrepreneurialism, how would you have them develop intergenerational learning because of some technologies that you're seeing?
So it's not necessarily how cutting edge the technology itself may be. It could also be the application of the technology across multiple environments or platforms. Okay.
Yeah, it could be a combination.
But I'm talking about